Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. So it's been kind of crazy the past few weeks. Um, this week we've seen the market take a dive, all markets. But crypto market, the fear and greed index is at a big time low right now. It's at 22. 22. Being at 22 is the same as when we were back in the teens. What was that? A year and a half ago? Yeah, doesn't doesn't really equate, right? But whatever, to each their own. Just saying. Visa and Santander were selected by Brazil's central bank for the next phase of their CBDC Copilot. Now, I find it to be interesting considering Brazil's growing in Bitcoin usage. So it just seems odd. I think that CBDCs, well, I don't really have to tell you how I feel about CBDCs because I don't like them. Bybit launches the first exchange backed liquidity staking token, bBSOL, on the Solana blockchain. I think that's going to be a big idea because apparently there's actually demand for it. So we'll see how that actually plays out. DWF Labs is actually going out there and launching a new synthetic stablecoin. Let me read you my notes. DWF Labs has announced plans to release a synthetic stablecoin which will be backed by a basket of assets and designed to maintain price stability across multiple markets. And remember, they just got a few $1 million as an influx. So that's going to be interesting to watch that play out. And did you know that Russia has quietly mined over $3 billion worth of Bitcoin? Yeah, yeah. Paying attention to that. I mean, it hasn't been substantiated, but people are doing the math and they're like, yeah, they mined about $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's wow. That's a big wow for a country that was going back and forth on whether or not they support crypto or not. And now all of a sudden, BRICS, Russia going toward, blockchain tech so that they can, go around, skirt around the sanctions. Good luck. Supposedly it's supposed to be a private blockchain. Again, I'm just wondering how that's all going to work because I guess they'll be trading amongst themselves because I don't know that anybody on the Western side is going to actually accept that. So it's going to be interesting to see how that actually plays out. And helium, I wouldn't, in my crypto minute, I said it decoupled from the rest of the market. And it kind of did, right? Because it's positive and the rest of the market is kind of negative. Still, I'm looking at HNT and I'm kind of going, yeah, I know I put a headline in there. I know I put some clickbait in there. But, helium's been on fire as of late. It really has been on fire. So, I've been saying to people, helium's one of those things that we should be paying attention to. Big, huge DePIN project, decentralized physical infrastructure networks. So you should be paying attention to that. Anyway, we also have crypto banking access getting diminished a little bit because United Texas Bank has been told to cease in providing banking services to cryptocurrency firms, marking another setback. And I'm sitting there and I'm just going, yeah, banks ought to be careful with what they do because they're under immense scrutiny. And I think that, they were probably sloppy in how they were doing things. Because if you're not sloppy, you won't get a cease and desist the way they did. Yep, they received a cease and desist. So I found that to be a little bit more than just interesting. Now, Sky, which used to be MakerDAO, um, is spurring is one of the things that you have in Sky is that you can freeze assets, and there's a lot of commentary going on about that. People are having big issues with that feature, which to me says, yeah, not so decentralized or not as decentralized as I thought for somebody just to do that. You know what I mean? So not feeling that idea, not feeling that at all. And then you have Shiba Inu partner K9 announcing that September 18th. There's a lot going on September 18th. A lot going on September. Go look up September 18th, and then you'll be able to see how important it is. You got Fed rate cuts coming on the 18th, which, by the way, I have to tell you, I'm one of the people that are like, I think it should be 25 basis points. With all of the talk that's out there, if the jobs numbers don't come in perfectly today, it'll be a 50 basis point cut. Absolutely. It all hinges on the jobs numbers, and the jobs numbers come out on at 8:30 today, and that's going to be very telling. It will be ridiculously telling. So, but K9 partner, K9 is announcing their launch date of its staking solution on September 18th. Did anybody stop to think about what kind of day that is? They will get swallowed up in the media, except for people like me talking about it now. September 18th will come and nobody will pay attention to them. Nobody. Maybe that's what they wanted. But yeah, go look up the other part of the news that's happening on September 18th. It will be eye-opening or jaw-dropping, unless you already know like I do. Either way, it is still interesting. I mean, like, very interesting, And then, I mentioned last night that one of my friends is a crazy technical analyst. His name is Carl Aridas. It's freaking awesome. This guy's awesome. Go search him up, Carl Aridas. Go look up some of his writings. The guy writes articles like all the time. And he actually came out and said that there are a few things, if you're interested in dividends, there are a few that, he looked at that he recommends. One is Nuveen. The other one is the Tax Managed Global Diversified Equity Income Fund, and which is EXG. Nuveen's is BXMX. And then Royce Small Cap Trust, which is RVT. He says you should check those out. Low PE ratios, stable, pays on time. Another one that I would throw in, go look up O. Go look up O. Because they're doing things. And they've been paying out dividends regularly for hundreds of cycles. Hundreds. They pay on time every time. You should go check them out. So those were recommendations that I got. But you know what we should do? That's right. We should go look at the numbers. So let's go do that. Get rid of my notes. So we're gonna, as usual, we're gonna start with the GMB Crypto Tracker top 25 losers. And top 25 losers right now seem to be, let's see, Jitto is down 8%. It has a GMB X factor of 2.02. A Star, which was in the news. I mean, if you look at the company that makes them, what is it? I forgot the name of the company. They're working with Sony to create Sonium, which has nothing to do with a Star. Nothing to do with a Star other than that team that's building out Sonium had also built out a Star. Yeah, but no relation. For a while there was going to be relation there, but no relation. I think they could still be with Sony. I should go look that up, right? Let's see. A Star? I thought they were doing something with Sony. They did something with Polygon. A Star chosen again, this time by Sony. Yeah. And I think so you see how they were chosen by by Sony's Web3 incubator? That's how they found that company. That's how they found that company. And that's what's nuts. That is absolutely what's nuts. Hold on a second. Sonium. I'm trying to get you the name of the company that did it. Star Network will provide initial liquidity, blah, 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 blah. It's annoying me that I can't find the name. It's really annoying me. Startail or something like that. Something like that. But they had done it. I guess that's where you got the name of Star. So it's kind of cool that they're working with Sony to actually build that out. I find that to be mad interesting. Anyway, that's enough of my notes. Let's keep going down the list. Bonk is down 5%, and right there I stopped. And the reason why, Bonk, by the way, has a GMBX factor of 1.87. However, I stopped there because my 5% rule. I don't pay attention to anything that's moving in either direction by only 5%. In the crypto market, I have to say that. In the crypto space, a 5% move doesn't move me. Not at all, not in the slightest. Let's go take a look at the top GMB crypto tracker top 25 winners, and that's a 0 on this list. That is a 0 on this list. Look at that, all the way down, 0. Again, under 5%. That means everything within the top 250 sideways. Telling you, when you look at the pressure downward, it's compacting everything that's down, and so when the explosion happens, it's gonna go up. Just saying. I'm just chilling and waiting. September 18th is gonna be a telling day, and then September is most likely gonna be a sucky month. Right? It was telling before. We had the Chang hard fork. We had Polygon's move to Pole. We had a couple of things happen, and nothing moved. So if those good things didn't happen, I thought September was gonna be different this time around. Hasn't been, and I don't think anything's gonna move it. To the downside, I think a lot could happen. To the upside, I think we're waiting until October. That's honestly what I think. Fee and Greed Index, like I said, at 22. 22. Year and a half ago. That's, when we've seen 22, around there. DeFi Llama, $84.637 billion total value locked. We get the jobs numbers. Don't forget the jobs numbers come out at 8:30, and that's gonna be telling us a lot about that decrease, about that interest rate cut. It'll tell us a lot. If it comes out worse than or not as good as what we thought it was going to be, 50 basis points. All of the information you need is already there. 50 basis points. Just saying, 50. I can see it. We're looking at the big board. Yeah, you see everything in red. Notice how Ethereum is underperforming, Bitcoin underperforming. Just everything on this screen, not everything, but dang near everything on this screen is ready to rock. Dang near everything on the screen is ready to rock. And if you take a quick look, there's Pole. I mean, yeah, here's Matter because they're not finished doing everything, but there's Pole. Just saying, pay attention. Things are happening. Things are definitely happening. $1.1 trillion market cap. And, Bitcoin is hurting a little bit at 1.1. That's hurting a lot. A lot. Do I think it's going to change by the end of the year? Definitely. Do I think it's going to start changing in October, like Q4? Yeah. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Excuse me. I know today is going to be a short show this morning. It's been very, very busy. The articles are up on the site. You could take a look at the articles. Don't forget that Sunday's Sunday Roundup. It's going to be different. We've got a class happening next week, September 15th at 12 p.m. Learn how to do your own research. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can tell you now, that's going to be a lot of fun. Learning how to do your own research, my tips and tricks on how I do it. I'm going to pass those along to you. There is study material that's available. It gets sent out to everybody. You should register. Go to growmybag.tv/classes and register. It's going to be good. We had the last one. It was really good. We're holding this one because there are a few people that couldn't make it. I hope they can make it to this one. Again, that's September 15th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it should be good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And then we're starting the big bagger meetups. I think we're going to start that this weekend. So I'm going to send out a link tomorrow, or maybe later, to actually today. I'll send it out today to all the big baggers, um, so you can come check it out. We'll have a nice lively conversation. The reason why I have to send a link is because it will be on Microsoft Teams, and it'll be a two-way street. It'll be a real live conversation between like-minded people where we're all sharing. If you're not a big bagger yet, become one either on YouTube or on growmybag.tv. Either way, I need to get your email address so I can send you the link, because the link will not be made public. It will not. And I won't be letting anybody in that isn't a registered big bagger. So check that out. Hope you have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.